Welcome to the Bite-Sized Security Podcast, your source for practical online security advice. Join me, my guests, and sometimes my trained AI voice, as I explore ways to protect your digital footprint against the growing cyber threats. From mastering better passwords to understanding encryption and VPNs, the Bite-Sized Security Podcast breaks complex topics into clear guidance. It's time to take control of your online presence. You're listening to the Bite-Sized Security Podcast, unlocking solutions for your digital life. Let's get to it. Maturing in cybersecurity means understanding that we need diverse talents to solve complex problems. And today I want to talk about how gatekeeping security engineering rules based solely on coding ability is holding us back. It's why we're missing out on some of the brightest minds who could be designing world-class security solutions, even if they aren't ready to write the code themselves yet. So let me start with a story. So imagine a brilliant individual who understands risk management, can identify vulnerabilities from a mile away, and has an incredible vision for securing infrastructure. They understand how networks operate, they grasp how attackers think, and they know how to design robust layered defenses. But there's one problem. They haven't had the chance to master Python or Java or whatever the programming language a specific job posting demands. The unfortunate reality? Many companies overlook them because, of a bullet point about proficient coding skills. Sure, coding is important. Writing scripts, automating tasks, creating tools, these skills can be extremely useful in cybersecurity. But they are not the only skills that matter. We need people who can see the big picture, who can envision secure systems from end to end. We need architects, visionaries, communicators, and strategists. Without those people, our teams end up building highly functional code without a cohesive, well-designed strategy behind it. And let me tell you why this matters. When we gatekeep based on coding, we create barriers that prevent us from building diverse and well-rounded teams. Cybersecurity isn't just a technical problem. It's a human problem. We need people who can sit down with business stakeholders, understand their needs, and translate that into secure systems. We need professionals who can work across disciplines, bringing together IT operations and compliance. And yes, we need coders too, but they aren't the only heroes in this story. Think about some of the best solutions you've seen in your career. They probably didn't come from a single person coding alone in the dark. They came from collaboration, from someone saying, what if we approach this differently? Or how do we build a system that addresses all the risks, not just the ones we know how to code against? Those questions often come from people who think strategically, people who understand security as a holistic discipline, and coding skills can be learned. But that kind of vision, that takes talent, experience, and perspective. And let's not forget the power of effective communication in cybersecurity. The ability to articulate security needs a non-technical stakeholders is just as important as writing a flawless script. Imagine someone who can walk into the room full of executives and explain in plain language why a particular vulnerability matters and what steps need to be taken to address it. That kind of skill can make or break the success of a security initiative. It's not about how many lines of code you write. It's about how effectively you can advocate for security in a world where not everyone speaks the language of technology. If you're listening to this and thinking, yeah, that's me, or I know someone like that, then this episode is for you. Let's stop measuring potential by how many lines of code someone can write. Let's recognize the people who can architect solutions, who can see the gaps, who can build secure designs, even if they aren't the ones pushing the commits. Let's celebrate those who can visualize the forest and not just the individual trees. So how do we change this? Well, it starts with hiring managers. To those of you who are hiring managers, take a step back and ask yourself, are you building a team that's diverse in skill set, in thinking, and in experience? Are you allowing candidates to showcase their strengths beyond coding exercises? Maybe it's time to consider hiring that candidate who impressed you with their security vision, even if they couldn't ace the algorithm quiz. And this change doesn't stop at hiring. It extends into how we grow talent within our organizations. If you're in a leadership position, are you encouraging your team members to broaden their skills beyond the keyboard? Are you offering opportunities for people to take on roles that emphasize architecture, communication, or strategic thinking? We need to stop pigeonholing talent based on where someone started, and recognize where they could go with the right guidance. For those of you who are trying to break into the field or trying to move into security engineering roles, I want you to hear this. Not being able to code yet doesn't mean you don't belong. There are so many aspects of cybersecurity that need your insights, your ideas, and your skills. Keep learning, keep growing, and don't let anyone make you feel like you're less than because you haven't written thousands of lines of Python. You'll get there. And even if you don't want to code, there's still a place for you. Cybersecurity is evolving, the threats we face are becoming more sophisticated, and the stakes are getting higher. To keep up, we need diverse teams with diverse skills. Teams made up of people who think creatively, who can anticipate the unexpected, who understand both the technical details and the broader picture. The future of cybersecurity depends on us embracing all kinds of talent. Visionaries, architects, strategists, communicators, coders, analysts. We need everyone if we're going to stay ahead of the threats we face. Let's dismantle the gatekeeping and build teams that reflect the true diversity of what it means to secure our world. I want to challenge you today, whether you're a hiring manager, a team lead, or an aspiring cybersecurity professional, or someone who's just passionate about making our industry better. Challenge the norms. Ask yourself if you're doing enough to break down the barriers, to create opportunities, and to bring in voices that aren't being heard right now. Because in cybersecurity, the more perspectives we have, the stronger we become. Thanks for listening to another episode of Bite-Sized Security, the quick-hitting podcast serving bite-sized tips to boost your online safety. We covered a lot of ground today and easy-to-digest nuggets of practical cybersecurity advice. If you want to learn more ways to protect your data and identity online, be sure to subscribe for future episodes. We'll continue breaking down complex security topics into straightforward guidance anyone can apply. Visit our website, bitesizesecurity.show, for recaps and show notes from all of our podcasts. We hope these bite-sized cyber lessons have given you new tools in your digital security toolbox. This is your host signing off until next time. Stay safe in the digital world. You've been listening to Bite-Sized Security.